Lord, it's going to be 15 years? A python.
Oh my goodness,
years.
insane. Why did I do that? So
Would you
dumb.
ever do it again?
Hell no.
Why
Never.
not?
That's so dumb. No, never.
From the start, Britney had almost no personal space. The privacy she so much wanted was later snatched away forcefully by a court order. The media was relentless.
I was a country girl, and I was very into ball. I was never a cheerleader or anything like that. I was a tomboy. So I was just a mama's girl. I loved food. My dad owned a restaurant.
Headlines constantly scandalized her life. Even in 2025, Britney is still a hot topic on social media. She could just post a video of herself dancing a little awkwardly, and people would start questioning her mental health again. How did Britney end up in such a fragile psychological state? What exactly happened to her? And what did she go through?
I'm so grateful for everything, and I just feel so incredibly blessed. But I mean, the realization of, when you're famous and you can't go back.
Join us in this video as we unveil what really happened to Britney Spears, where it all began, Britney's dysfunctional background. Britney grew up in a complicated and often difficult family environment. Her father, Jamie Spears, experienced his own childhood trauma. His mother died by self-harm when he was just 13. She had suffered a miscarriage that left deep psychological scars she could never fully recover from. Jamie's father was strict and, by many accounts, unfit as a parent. According to Britney's younger sister, Jamie Lynn, their grandfather placed unreasonable demands on Jamie. He was forced to play sports for hours, even when he was exhausted. Jamie loved basketball, but his father made him play American football instead, despite his natural talent for basketball. Before marrying Britney's mother, Lynn Bridges, Jamie had another wife, though that marriage ended quickly in divorce. He married Lynn in 1976, but by 1980, she tried to divorce him and even requested a restraining order, fearing stalking and potential harm. Despite their struggles, Jamie and Lynn reconciled, and on December 2, 1981, Britney Jean Spears was born. She had an older brother, Brian, born 4 years earlier, and a younger sister, Jamie Lynn, who came along 10 years later. Lynn primarily cared for the children while Jamie worked in construction in their hometown of Kentwood, Louisiana. He even built the city's first exercise gym. Britney started taking dance classes at just 3 years old, and dance quickly became her greatest passion. The family attended church on Sundays, and Britney joined the church choir. But life was far from easy. Jamie struggled financially, and the family sometimes slipped into poverty. To feed his family, he hunted rabbits and small birds. On top of that, he battled alcohol abuse. In short, Britney's early life was marked by dysfunction, her childhood shaped by family trauma, financial struggles, and instability. For Britney's mother, Lynn, her youngest daughter became a source of hope amidst the poverty and unhappiness of her marriage. She saw something special in Britney, a stage-worthy talent, and dedicated herself to nurturing it. She enrolled Britney in singing lessons, gymnastics, and dance classes, preparing her to reach great heights. At the same time, Britney also participated in children's beauty pageants, learning early the art of performing. What was life going to unfold to Britney in the years to come? How was she going to find her way? Keep watching to find out. Becoming Britney Spears. By the late 1980s, the family poured all their energy into shaping Britney into a star, though they weren't exactly sure how to make it happen. They connected with child agent Nancy Carson, who took Britney under her wing. Carson helped enroll her in a professional performing arts school, prompting Lynn and Britney to move to New York. Meanwhile, Britney's father, Jamie, was more concerned with money than anything else. He focused on how much she was earning, when they'd make it back, and where the money was going. According to the marketing director of her label, Jamie once famously said, "My daughter's going to be so rich, she's going to buy me a boat." In practice, this meant he was often absent from her life, leaving Britney to witness arguments with her mother and struggles with his alcoholism. Britney's first professional steps came in 1990. She appeared in her first musical, landed a commercial, and auditioned for the relaunch of the Mickey Mouse Club. She didn't make it on her first try, but she stayed on the show's radar. Undeterred, Britney pressed on. In 1992, She competed in the children's category of the popular talent show Star Search, performing Love Can Build a Bridge by the Judds, further proving her determination and budding talent. Britney ended up in second place on Star Search, and soon after, she returned to Disney. At age 10, she officially joined the new season of the Mickey Mouse Club, where she met future stars Justin Timberlake and Christina Aguilera. While drama would later unfold between them, at the time, they were simply childhood friends. 2 years later, the show shut down, and everyone returned home. For the next couple of years, Britney lived a relatively normal childhood: school, friends, and basketball. But by 1996, auditions and demos called her back into the spotlight. This was the era of boy bands and girl groups: NSYNC, Destiny's Child, TLC, and of course, the Spice Girls. Britney was even considered for a girl group called Innocence, but family friend and lawyer Larry Rudolph convinced them to pursue a solo career instead. It turned out to be the perfect advice. After a few auditions, Britney performed for the director of Jive Records and soon signed her first recording contract. In 1998, she traveled to Sweden to work with renowned producer Max Martin, where they crafted her debut songs and laid the foundation for her first album. That September, her debut single, Baby One More Time, was released. What would this open her up to? Stardom or demons? Keep watching to find out. Britney Spears' rise to stardom. The single debuted at number 17 on the Billboard charts and quickly skyrocketed, holding the top spot for 2 months. Eventually, it topped charts around the world and became a timeless pop classic. Britney's schoolgirl outfit in the music video remains one of the most iconic Halloween costumes to this day. Next, Britney went on a promotional tour across shopping malls sponsored by L'Oreal. She performed in food courts, showcasing new songs and building her fan base. Meanwhile, her record label worked on refining her vocal style. Initially, Britney sang in a deeper, Whitney Houston-inspired tone, but her lighter, baby voice turned out to be more marketable, and it became her signature sound. At the start of 1999, her debut album was released and became an instant hit. It topped charts in 15 countries and broke multiple records. Britney made history as the first new female artist to have both a single and an album at number 1 on the Billboard charts at the same time. Britney quickly became a teen icon and role model, carrying the weight of enormous moral responsibility. She earned a Grammy nomination, multiple awards, a North American tour, and another massive hit, Oops, I Did It Again. The song peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100, but remains one of her most recognizable tracks. Her second album, Oops, I Did It Again, debuted at number 1 and included several songs that are still familiar to fans today. However, 2000's MTV Video Music Awards marked a turning point. Britney shocked audiences by ripping off her costume to reveal a nude bodysuit, presenting a more overtly sexual image to the public. That was when it all began. How did this move impact the rest of her career? How badly would it haunt her? Let's find out. The start of Britney Spears' nightmare. From that moment, media scrutiny intensified. Headlines oscillated between judgment and an unhealthy obsession with her personal life. In interviews, Britney openly said she wanted to save her virginity until marriage. Yet journalists repeatedly asked about it, turning her private decisions into public fodder. Upholding such a standard in the spotlight, it was almost impossible. "I'm 18, and I have so much of my life ahead of me," Britney once said. "I just haven't found the right person. I want to make sure that when I do, it's with someone who's really right for me. My mom always told me that once you cross that line, there are so many more emotions involved, and I just don't want to go there right now. I'm focused on my career and on myself." A few years later, she admitted she regretted saying that. "I wish I had never said anything," she reflected. "It put me in this place where people are always asking me about it. But that's part of growing up, and it's something we all have to deal with." It wasn't a one-time issue. The press scrutinized literally everything about her, even her body. Interviewers repeatedly asked about her breasts, and she often grew visibly frustrated. Amid all the media pressure, Britney started dating Justin Timberlake. By 2001, they were Hollywood's golden couple, successful, adored, and constantly in the spotlight. Around the same time, her second album, Britney, was released. The album marked a clear turning point. The little girl from Kentwood had grown up, becoming bolder and openly embracing her sexuality. Her music videos and performances reflected this change. At the VMAs, she delivered one of her most memorable shows, beginning inside a cage with a tiger and ending with a python draped around her neck. Britney had fully transformed into a confident, fearless performer, unafraid to take risks and command attention. The public was always guaranteed to be shocked by Britney, and the more popular she became, the harsher the criticism got. She was labeled a terrible role model and accused of being too promiscuous, another excuse for the media to tear her down. But none of that compared to the storm brewing in her personal life. Her highly publicized romance with Justin Timberlake ended in heartbreak. Justin's team spread rumors that Britney had cheated, a narrative he later confirmed in interviews. He even released his first solo single about a cheating girlfriend, featuring a Britney lookalike in the music video. Britney faced intense scrutiny in a Diane Sawyer interview, where she was often humiliated and accused of breaking Justin's heart. The media's tone shifted from fascination to outright hate. He's left the impression that you weren't faithful, that you betrayed the relationship. She later reflected, "I think everyone has a side to their story." Would the public believe her side of the story? How badly was Britney falling? Keep watching to find out. Britney's marital journey and the paparazzi craze. In January 2004, Britney surprised everyone by marrying her childhood friend, Jason Alexander, in a small Las Vegas chapel. The marriage lasted just 55 hours before it was annulled. Her mother and manager were furious and quickly finalized the termination. Around the same time, for reasons that remain unclear, her label canceled her next album, which was already ready for release. Britney even managed to share a demo of Mona Lisa on Kiss FM. Rumors suggested she was seeking more control over her career and wanted to push back against the label's excessive oversight. Shortly after, Britney married again, this time for real. Her husband was Kevin Federline, and she had such a crush on him that she proposed herself. "You proposed?" she later recalled. "Did he say yes right away?" "Not right away," she admitted with a laugh. The couple launched a reality show called Chaotic, which Britney would later call the worst decision of her career. Critics and viewers alike panned the show, calling it awkward and embarrassing, and the ratings were dismal. In August 2005, Britney gave birth to her first son, Sean Preston. She had always dreamed of having a family, and this dream seemed to come true. Yet, happiness was complicated. Kevin had already been expecting a child with his then-girlfriend Shar Jackson before he began seeing Britney, which led to tension and conflict in their relationship. Adding to the strain was the relentless attention of the paparazzi. Every moment of Britney's personal life was documented, scrutinized, and sensationalized, leaving her little room for privacy or peace. Crowds constantly followed Britney, creating real dangers for her children. Her son, Sean Preston, was twice put at risk. Once when Britney tried to evade photographers and nearly dropped him, and another time when she held him on her lap while driving. "You have babies at home. You have a life," Britney said. "Even if you don't, you have to realize we're people. We need privacy and respect. Those are things every human being deserves." The year 2006 marked a turning point in Britney's life. Just 2 months after giving birth to her second child, she divorced Kevin Federline and began partying with Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. Hilton's notorious nightlife of the 2000s fueled media frenzy, and the press couldn't get enough. Then tragedy struck. In January 2007, Britney's aunt on her mother's side, Sandra Coington, who had been like a second mother to her, passed away. This was when all hell was finally let loose. What happened to Britney Spears? Let's find out. Losing her mind. Britney Spears' battle with mental health. After the funeral, Britney reached a breaking point. Nervous breakdowns, firing long-term assistants in isolation, and extreme stress all culminated in a crisis. On February 15, 2007, she was admitted to rehab for 24 hours. 2 days later came perhaps the most infamous 24 hours of her career. Britney walked into a hair salon and demanded that her head be completely shaved. The hairdresser, sensing she wasn't thinking clearly, refused. Britney took the clippers herself and shaved her own head, declaring, "I'm sick and tired of being touched. I don't want anyone to approach me." Afterward, she added a few more tattoos, marking the start of one of the most turbulent periods in her life, a period that would dominate headlines and define much of her public image for years to come. The day after Britney shaved her head, the tabloids exploded. Headlines screamed, "Britney Spears, she's bald." Yet some reporters seemed more interested in asking her opinion about other celebrities potentially going bald than in what she was actually going through. The pop star had shaved her own head, an act that stunned the world. Only 5 days later, Britney made headlines again. On February 21, 2007, she attempted to visit her sons at her ex-husband Kevin Federline's home in Los Angeles. When the doors remained closed and the police were called, Britney laughed it off. But the paparazzi relentlessly followed her car. At a gas station, as her cousin filled the tank, photographers swarmed, flashing their cameras at the bald singer. At first, Britney calmly asked them to leave her alone, but suddenly, she snapped. She jumped out of the car and attacked one of the paparazzi's vehicles with a green umbrella. In the chaos, she shattered a car window, bent the umbrella, and then threw it away before speeding off. Later, Britney publicly apologized for the outburst, explaining that she had been overwhelmed with stress and even joked that she was rehearsing a role for a movie. The incident made it clear that she needed serious help. That same day, February 21, 2007, Britney was admitted to the Promises Clinic in Malibu for intensive treatment, where she stayed for 30 to 45 days to address her mental health and regain stability. As her mother revealed, Britney began drinking at age 13 and started using substance by 15. She underwent treatment several times, but the struggles didn't stop her from creating music. What else characterized Britney Spears' already falling apart life? Keep watching to find out. Britney Spears' new low and the start of guardianship. By the end of 2007, she released Blackout, a dark, experimental album that critics later hailed as the Bible of pop music. Initially mocked by the industry, its sound went on to influence pop music for years. Her return to the stage, however, did not go smoothly. At the 2007 VMAs, her performance of Gimme More was shaky and blurred, revealing that she wasn't ready. The world responded with laughter and parodies, further fueling the media frenzy. Things worsened in 2008. At the start of the year, Britney locked herself in her home with her children, refusing to hand them over to Kevin Federline in direct violation of court orders. Police and paramedics were called, and Britney was taken away on a stretcher under a 5,150 hold, an involuntary psychiatric hospitalization lasting up to 72 hours, used when someone is deemed a danger to themselves or others, or temporarily incapable of managing their own affairs. During this period, Kevin was granted full temporary custody of the children. At the same time, Britney's father, Jamie Spears, who had previously been largely absent from her life and primarily focused on money, appeared in court seeking temporary guardianship. The court appointed him as her primary conservator, with lawyer Andrew Wallet as the second caretaker. This marked the beginning of the conservatorship that would control almost every aspect of her personal and professional life for years to come. The petition claimed that Britney had been developing dementia since 2004, a statement that later sparked intense debate. Another version of events suggested that the entire conservatorship setup had been strategically orchestrated. Allegedly, on the night Britney locked herself in her bedroom with her children, her assistant advised her to stay there as long as possible, assuring her that the police and her ex-husband would eventually leave. This extension of time, however, was later used as a key argument to claim that Britney was incapable of caring for herself or her children. Long before the conservatorship began, Britney's father had consulted Lou Taylor, the manager and founder of Trestar Sports and Entertainment Group, a company specializing in managing the careers and finances of celebrities. Taylor's involvement has long been controversial. Fans accused her of engineering financial control schemes and deals that primarily benefited caregivers. Taylor was reportedly involved in similar strategies with other high-profile figures. Courtney Love later confirmed that Taylor and her team attempted to establish a guardianship case against her. By February 2008, Britney was fully placed under her father's conservatorship. Over the following months, Jamie Spears' team worked to remove Britney's chosen lawyer, portraying her as incapable of making her own legal decisions. Meanwhile, the media continued to be pressured to portray Britney as unstable and crazy, reinforcing the narrative that justified the conservatorship in the public eye. Would conservatorship help? How well did it help? Keep watching to find out. Britney Spears' turnaround. At the end of 2008, a documentary called For the Record was released, focusing on Britney's return to the stage. For the first, and essentially last time in many years, she spoke openly about what had happened to her. "If I wasn't under the restrictions I'm under right now, I feel so liberated," she said. "When I tell them how I feel, it's like they hear me, but they're really not listening. Even when you go to jail, you know there's an end. But in this situation, it's never ending. There's no excitement. There's no passion." This documentary marked the final time Britney publicly addressed her guardianship for many years. Afterward, her team began to strictly control everything she said. Interviewers were given lists of forbidden topics, and every interview had to be pre-approved by her father and his team. By the end of the year, her father had successfully restricted certain individuals from approaching Britney, most notably Sam Lufty. His role in her life was often misrepresented in the media, sometimes described as a manager, sometimes as a friend, but in reality, it was more ambiguous. Rumors and alleged leaked phone calls suggested that Lufty had tried to help Britney, including promoting the idea of ending her conservatorship. At the same time, her family claimed he worsened her unstable situation and even influenced her negatively, including allegedly supplying substances. Lufty later filed a lawsuit for misinformation, which ended in a peaceful settlement, reportedly with the family paying him a six-figure sum. In 2010, Britney launched her own clothing line, adding to the success of her already popular perfume line. She also made a cameo on a TV show, negotiated to appear on The X Factor, and continued her music career. In 2011, she released the album Femme Fatale, with the lead single Hold It Against Me, quickly hitting #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The album also included other hits, such as Criminal and Till the World Ends, further solidifying her comeback. At this point, Britney's career seemed to be thriving. Her reputation had largely recovered, her albums were successful, and her tours were selling out arenas. For the first time in years, her professional life was on steady ground, even as her personal struggles remained largely hidden from the public. Britney appeared as a judge on a new season of The X Factor and quickly became a fan favorite. Viewers praised her as honest but fair, funny, and approachable. For a time, the public fell in love with her all over again, and past scandals seemed to fade from memory. Along with them, the topic of her conservatorship largely disappeared from public discussion. Behind the scenes, however, nothing had really changed. Photos of Britney crying circulated online, revealing the quiet despair she felt over her ongoing lack of freedom. Her father continued to control virtually every aspect of her life: finances, relocations, medications, personal relationships, and by that point, very few people remained in her inner circle. During a meeting with a psychiatrist, Britney stated that she felt stable enough and ready to live independently. Considering her nonstop work, performing, recording music, and participating in a major TV show, it was easy to believe she could manage on her own. Yet, she still couldn't even go to Starbucks without her father's permission. Did anything change? Was anybody even thinking about how Britney Spears felt? Let's see. Wear a yellow shirt if you're not feeling okay. Britney remained under her father's conservatorship. Her participation on The X Factor reportedly earned him a record $15 million, the highest payment for a TV talent show judge at the time. Meanwhile, Britney continued to release music, including a collaboration with Will, I Am, that became another hit in her collection. The push to finally free her began in earnest during her Domination residency. The promotion was massive. Buildings in Las Vegas were lit with projections of her most iconic moments, and the opening night was broadcast live, signaling that Britney was ready to reclaim her career and, eventually, her life. According to the plan, Britney was supposed to step on stage, perform a song, give a few interviews, and then head out. But that night, nothing went as expected. She arrived in Las Vegas, walked onto the stage, stepped back down, and simply left. She didn't speak, didn't perform, and didn't give a single interview. 11 weeks later, the residency was abruptly canceled. The official reason was her father's declining health, and Britney released a statement saying she wanted to spend more time with her family. Shortly after, she reportedly entered a rehab facility for a few weeks. From that moment on, her social media began to take a strange turn. There were no performances, no public appearances, no interviews, just a stream of odd posts and confusing videos on Instagram. Around the same time, Andrew Wallet, the lawyer who had served as her co-conservator from the very beginning, was suddenly removed from his role, with no explanation ever given. For nearly 2 months, Britney wasn't seen in public at all. Then, a short message appeared on her Instagram. "We all need to take time for a little me time," followed by a simple typed smiley face. Fans immediately felt something was off. Britney always used emojis, and this post seemed like it was written by someone else entirely. The hosts of the Britney's Gram podcast soon brought even more attention to the situation after receiving anonymous voicemails from a man claiming to be a lawyer who worked with Britney. He alleged that she had been forced into the treatment facility against her will and that someone else was controlling her social media accounts. And just like that, the most famous Britney-related conspiracy theory was born. Wear a yellow shirt if you're not feeling okay. How did Britney Spears reclaim her freedom? How hard did she fight for it? Reclaiming her life. Personally, Britney didn't believe in all that. But this simple gesture sparked the beginning of the hashtag Free Britney movement. At first, her father, Jamie Spears, dismissed the growing public concern. "All these conspiracy theorists don't know anything," he said. "The world has no clue. It's up to the California court to decide what's best for my daughter. It's no one else's business." But as the Free Britney campaign gained momentum, he temporarily stepped back as her guardian, while still retaining control over her finances. Around the same time, Britney's mother unexpectedly announced she wanted to become involved in decisions regarding her daughter's well-being. In 2021, the New York Times released the documentary Framing Britney Spears, which detailed how the conservatorship was orchestrated and exposed the central role her father had played. The film reignited public outrage. Fans once again flooded the streets, and the court finally allowed Britney to hire her own lawyer. In court that year, Britney spoke for herself for the first time in years. "I feel ganged up on, I feel bullied, and I feel left out and alone, and I'm tired of feeling alone," she said. She described being exploited, struggling to sleep, feeling depressed, and crying every day. Although the legal process took months, Britney persisted. And in 2021, after 13 long years, she was finally free. After finally gaining her freedom, Britney got married again, this time to Sam Asghari, the same man from her Slumber Party music video. But their marriage didn't last long. By 2023 to 2024, they had divorced. Britney later described the marriage as a fake distraction during a difficult period when she was emotionally distant from her sons. Her words sparked a media frenzy and divided fans. Sam himself expressed confusion. saying that his feelings had been genuine and that he valued the memories they shared. Her social media presence remained much the same. Mirror dances, stock photos, strange captions, and endless speculation. Fans and media alike continue to wonder, is Britney posting these herself? Who records the videos, and why? In 2024, rumors circulated once again about her mental health, but Britney publicly emphasized that she feels free and no longer allows anyone, including relatives, to control her life. Her relationship with her mother, Lynn, has also been complicated. After gaining her independence, their bond remained unstable. Sometimes they appeared reconciled, and at other times it seemed they were at odds. Currently, they are not in contact. Britney still harbors resentment that neither her mother nor her sister helped her during the fight to end her conservatorship, making it difficult for her to completely let go of the past. Britney's story remains a mix of triumph and struggle. On one hand, she won her legal battle and reclaimed her autonomy. On the other, she continues to navigate the personal challenges of staying true to herself and protecting her happiness. What do you think about what happened to Britney Spears? Let us know in the comments section below. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the next video shown on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity stories. See you there.